Good morning, Malacanang Press Corps. Happy Monday. Welcome din sa ating mga guests and kay ASECA Ana Marie Banaag. Welcome sa regular press briefing ni Presidential Spokesperson Harry Roque.
Magandang umaga Pilipinas and good morning to the ladies and gentlemen of the Malacanang Press Corps. Good News Monday, the ADB forecasted our GDP growth to be at 6.8% in 2018 and 6.9% in 2019. The multilateral bank sees rising investments and labor productivity as major drivers in the economy's robust domestic growth. We're pleased, furthermore, to announce the strong and robust manufacturing output for the first quarter of 2018, driven by major sectors such as printing, textile, food manufacturing, petroleum products, electric machinery, non-metallic products, and others. According to the monthly integrated survey of selected industries, the MISSI of the Philippine Statistics Authority, the value of production index for manufacturing displayed an increment of 12.8% in March 2018 compared to 11.8% in the same period of last year. Magandang balita po sa mga magsasaka sa Bulacan. Ngayon po ay may solusyon na sa pagbaha at sa pagtubig. The National Irrigation Authority led the groundbreaking ceremony and capsule laying of the 990 million Bulo Small Reservoir Irrigation Project in Doña Remedios, Trinidad, Bulacan. The irrigation project will be benefiting around 500 local farmers. Bulo SRIP will cover 35 hectares of agricultural lands at Calawacan in Doña Remedios, Trinidad, and another 535 hectares at Malibay, San Miguel. Also, the Bulo SRIP will be the catch basin area for 20 barangays in Bulacan to prevent flash floods. Lastly, the Bulo SRIP will serve as development site for inland fish culture. Yes, questions, please.
Malacanang, Rose Novenario. Microphone, please.
Sir, good morning.
Good morning, Rose.
Bago po tayo nagsimula, parang may breaking news na nagsabit na raw po ng courtesy resignation si Mr. Teo.
Thank you.
Ay, sir, take two. Sir, bago po tayo nag-start, may breaking news po na nagsubmit na raw po ng courtesy resignation si Mr. Teo sa TIEZA.
Ang pagkakaintindi ko po, and I promise to clarify whether or not nandun pa nga po si Tieza, apparently si Mr. Teo po was an appointee of President Aquino in the Tieza, and he has long tendered his resignation. Pero wala pa pong kapalit, kaya daw po nandoon pa siya. Pero ngayon po daw ata, sinabi niya na hindi na talaga siya pupunta sa mga meetings. No? Ang natatakot lang daw po siya ay yung dereliction of duty, no? Yung dahil pag wala pang kapalit, baka naman sabihin bakit mo binakante. No? So yes, I heard what you heard, that he will stop going to the board meetings of Tieza.
Ano po yun? Synonymous po yun sa irrevocable resignation?
Well, I suppose, no? Kasi ang inaantay lang naman daw niya yung kapalit niya, no? So, that would be an irrevocable resignation. I just heard it like you over the radio.
Sir, thank you. Sir, kailan daw po yun nangyari, yung kanyang irrevocable
Hindi ko po alam
resignation?
kasi doon ko lang sa radyo rin narinig few minutes before this press briefing. I also heard that the Teo family will return the 60 million. I heard it like you over the radio.
Ay, sir, as a lawyer, yung pong pagbabalik ng halaga na parang inakusa sa inyo na ninakaw nyo, ano po yung magiging kaso nun?
Unang-una, wala naman po atang nagsasabi na nakaw. No? May mga nagsasabi na nepotism, may nagsasabi na violation of anti-graft. Pero mixed signals po tayo dyan dahil nagkaroon po ng desisyon ng Korte Suprema, di ba, doon sa Garcia, no? Na nung una, pinagbawal, tapos inallow din. So it's a matter po that we have to look into in line with existing jurisprudence na pabale-balentong din minsan. Minsan pinapayagan, minsan hindi. So your guess is as good as mine. Pero kung ang tatanungin po kung anong desisyon ng Presidente dito sa isyung to, wala pa po. Dahil itong offer po na ibalik ang 60 million is a breaking development. Siguro po ang Presidente nalaman din sa balita lamang.
Thank you.
Follow-up question?
Hi, sir. Sir, legally, can you just return yung money na yun without being charged?
Well, they could do whatever they want po, no? Dahil ngayon wala pa naman pong kaso. As to whether or not a charge will be forthcoming, I cannot also say what the ombudsman will do. So ngayon po, the information is very new. I'm not even aware if the president knows about it already. It was just a matter of literally a few minutes before this press briefing when I heard it over the radio. No? But if you're asking me for my opinion as a lawyer, right now po, I do not know what question you can ask because right now there are no charges, number one. And number two po, I do not know kung kanino nila ibabalik yan, and I do not know kung ano magiging ramification ng pagbalik ng halagang yan.
Sir, what possible charges yon if yung given the circumstance involving yung PTV and yung Bita?
You know, I think any other lawyer can answer that question, but a spokesperson, I think I'd rather not answer that question. No? Any other lawyer can answer that.
Follow-up or other issue? Other issue? Joseph?
Hi, sir. Can we go to China?
Yes, please.
Okay. How much do we know now about the alleged installation?
We still do not have verification.
Really?
Yes.
After how many days? Like Friday, Saturday, Sunday?
Well, I had a talk with the national security advisor, and he told me that there's a technology that we need that we still don't have to be able to verify it for ourselves. Now, I understand that we could get information from third-party sources, but that would not be first-party verification.
How about asking China?
I do not know, but that's the last conversation I had with the national security advisor, and this was only last on an ADB affair last Friday.
So tayo pa rin yung magko-confirm. We're not going to ask maybe the US because it's the US information.
There's still a technology that is awaiting to verify everything, but there
Alright.
is a way of verifying for ourselves.
Remember, sir, that China promised, no, that there will be no construction. That's what the president said. Does it? And the information of the U.S. is that this missile defense system has been installed in the past 3 months. So is that like a reneging on the promise of China when they built the missile defense system?
I will answer this, but any other further questions that you may have, you will have to direct to the Secretary of Foreign Affairs. This is not a new construction in the sense that what China promised is new reclamations, okay, or artificial islands.
So they can build anything except new islands.
That's
we're
the
okay with that.
promise of China. I'm not saying it's okay, but
Oh.
that's the promise. But your question is this a new construction, which is a breach of China's promise? The promise was as far as new reclamations and new artificial islands are concerned.
Okay, that's it for the meantime.
May follow-up sa China? China? Ralph?
Sir, what are the particular actions po na ginawa na ng Philippine government po dun sa installation?
Well, I'm not aware, but I know there are steps being taken, and this will be addressed by the Secretary of Foreign Affairs.
Okay po.
China. China. Virgil? Virgil, sorry. Sorry.
Sir, the President will be holding a full cabinet meeting this afternoon. Would you know what would be the agenda?
I saw a copy of the agenda. No, I think some of the agenda would be the State of the Nation address for 2018, the report on the first batch of senior high school students, the Dengvaksha vaccine controversy, and other matters.
How about China, sir?
China is not on the agenda.
Okay.
Okay. Follow-up. Rose Venaria. Microphone.
Sir, aattend po kaya invited sa cabinet meeting si Secretary Teo?
Lahat po ng cabinet members are in fact required, not invited to attend the cabinet meetings.
Thank you.
Okay, Joseph Morong. Pia.
Hi, sir. Sir, back on Mr. Teo. Mr. Teo was appointed to the Land Bank board of directors on August 2017, if I recall correctly, sir. Hindi ba siya covered ng prohibition on double compensation? Because he's both in appointee sa land bank and also nasa TIESA din siya.
Hindi ko po alam na na-appoint siya sa land bank. I really don't have information on Mr. Teo. I hope you understand that as presidential spokesperson, I am not aware of appointments even to government-owned and controlled corporations.
Papalitan po ba din siya ng palasyo, sir, sa TIESA? Meron na po ba tayong
Hindi ko
nakukuha
po alam,
kapalit?
no? Hindi ko po alam dahil ang sabi lang niya kanina, kaya lang naman daw siya na patuloy na nag-a-attend ng mga board meetings ng TIESA kasi inaantay niya yung kapalit niya, ayaw niyang ma-accuse of having abandoned his post without a replacement. Pero ang sabi niya, hindi na raw siya attend ng mga board meetings ng TIESA.
Thank you, sir.
Chona?
Sir, balik lang ako sa China. Under the Duterte administration, how many diplomatic protests were filed already, and did China even bother to answer dun sa mga diplomatic protests, or how did they respond?
I don't have the numbers because it's the Department of Foreign Affairs that actually files these protests. Better address the issue to the Department of Foreign Affairs.
Okay, on China, Nestor Corrales.
Morning, sir. Sir, you previously mentioned that the President is regularly apprised with the recent developments in the South China Sea. What was his reaction regarding this reported missile deployment in the Spratlys?
Alam nyo, the President views it from an overall perspective. No? Nandyan na yung mga isla na yan when we came in, and it can't be denied that whether or not China will admit it, it will be used for military purposes. Kaya nga po, sinabi na naman niya kung kailan lang naman yan. Ang problema nagsimula dyan dahil pinayagang gawin yung mga isla na yan to begin with. Bakit kasi walang ginawa yung mga ibang mga tao nung ginagawa yan? Bakit hindi pinigilan ng Estados Unidos kung ayaw nila yung mga islands na yan nung reclaim pa yan? No? And everything happened before his term. We've had to deal now with existing realities, and ang sinasabi nga ni Presidente is we're trying to do the best that we can under existing circumstances. We are exploring all diplomatic options, which does not mean we're not doing anything.
So, sir, may specific instructions ba siya sa DFA, sa DND, and kay National Security Advisor? Or
Wala naman po dahil alam niyo naman, hindi naman nagma-micromanage ang ating Presidente, but this issue is really lodged with the office of Secretary Alan Cayetano.
Still on China, Joseph Morong to be followed by Christine Avendano.
Sir, how do you find the situation where one of the missile defense systems is in Panganiban Reef, which is basically technically ours under the tribunal word?
Well, all the artificial islands, according to the tribunal, are found in the exclusive economic zone. So the ruling of the tribunal is that only the Philippines could have developed those artificial islands. So what is the question now?
What do we think about the missile defense system being in our EEZ?
What do I think? Well, I don't have any personal opinion as spokesperson.
Of course, I'm asking you
I've
as a
said
valid spokesman.
we are viewing this with much concern because any possible scenario that would encourage military action in our backyard, in our exclusive economic zone, and in one of the busiest sea lanes in the world is troublesome. So, like the rest of the world, we value freedom of navigation, but we have more of an interest because this is covered by our EEZ.
Christine?
No, sir. One last.
Ano?
Are we not going to ask China? Because we're friends, right?
I'm not saying we're not going to ask China, but the DFA will exercise all diplomatic initiatives, and we leave it to the DFA. Again, the fact that we're not publicizing what we're doing, let me remind you that it is an accepted exception to freedom of information, diplomatic conversations, and initiatives.
Sir, on your conversation with Secretary Espero, did he say what kind of technology yung...
He did. I forgot what it is. I will ask him again and tell you tomorrow.
Are we
what
gonna-
it is that we were awaiting so that we can have finally our own capacity to verify for ourselves. He mentioned something. I should have written it down.
Did he say, are we gonna acquire it, sir?
Yes, it's forthcoming.
So we can.
Yes.
So,
I'm not sure from what country.
but it will be fast enough for us to confirm or verify.
I think so. He mentioned it. He says that we're awaiting delivery, but we don't have that capacity yet.
Okay, MPC questions? Other issue? China, Ralph?
Hi sir, yung sabi po ni Congressman Zarate sa statement niya kahapon na we should turn away from the notion po na yung Chinese missiles are not pointed at the Philippines daw po kasi yung retaliation po would affect the Philippines po. Any reaction po?
Well, I think I was from the very beginning saying that we were concerned. But you can't ignore the fact that because of very good relations, we can be confident that China as a country does not view us as a threat. And there is no reason why, assuming they have missiles that they can use, they will use it on us. That's all that we're saying.
China? Nestor, then Julie?
Sir, last, Senate President Pimentel yesterday said that the Senate would would conduct an investigation into reports that China has installed missile systems in the Spratlys. Reaction from Malacanang.
Well, yan po'y katungkulan din naman ng Senado. Hindi mo namin pinagkakait yan sa Senado. Kaya lang maraming mga bagay-bagay po siguro doon na hindi po pwedeng idiskurso sa publiko, no? Dahil meron nga po tayong tinatawag na mga bagay-bagay na covered na executive privilege at saka mga state secrets because of national security, no? But katungkulan po yan at pribilehiyo po yan ng Senado na imbestigahan itong mga missiles ng China.
Okay, Julie?
Sir, follow-up lang dun sa probe. Are you not afraid na baka ma-jeopardize yung friendship natin with China kung may pronouncement na yung Senate at House natin na we want to investigate the missile deployment?
Well, itong investigasyon naman po nila is in aid of legislation. So tignan po natin kung anong mga bagong batas na mababalangkas na magre-resulta dahil sa kanilang investigasyon ng missiles na ito sa mga islang ito.
Sir, follow-up. Sabi po ni former Foreign Affairs Secretary Del Rosario na he thinks it's about time that the country review its foreign policy, particularly differentiate yung promised benefits of China against yung national security natin. Your take on that, sir?
Well, that's his opinion, but the President has taken steps towards an independent foreign policy. I fully support that. The nation supports that, and it has resulted in tangible results. Napakadami pong benepisyong nakalap ng Pilipinas dahil dito sa independenteng panglabas na relasyon natin. Kasama na po dyan na wala ngayong banta sa seguridad ng Pilipinas. Lahat po sila kaibigan natin. At napakadami pong mga bansa ngayon na nagbibigay sa atin ng tulong na dahilan na nagiging napakalakas ng ating ekonomiya ngayon.
Okay. No more questions? MPC? Okay. Joseph?
On other issues.
Gulat ako, bilis.
Tapos na ang Wanda, tapos na ang China. Okay.
Sir, konti lang sa China. Hindi ba yun betrayal of trust, sir? Because some are saying it's a betrayal of trust.
No.
Why?
I do not know why it's even betrayal of trust. Why is it betrayal of trust? Hindi ko po alam bakit betrayal
Kasi
of trust.
sabi nila, reclamation lang naman yung sinabi nilang hindi nila gagawin. But it's a missile defense system, so it's not reclamation. So therefore, it's not a breach of trust.
Hindi naman natin sinasabi wala tayong ginagawa eh. Sinasabi ko lang, hindi namin pwedeng sabihin kung anong ginagawa.
Okay.
Pero all diplomatic initiatives are being undertaken. Sige.
Sige, sir.
It's just like, it's not something that we can talk about.
Okay. ADB, sir. May statement na we should avoid, maybe we should be careful about loans from China because may mga history in ibang countries like Maldives, Sri Lanka, na may mga debt trap. Where are we going to get the money for the build again?
Not really just from China, no? It's from all sources. Ang maganda po dito sa independent foreign policy ng ating Pangulo, nag-uunahan yung bansang China at saka Japan na magbigay sa atin ng hindi lang pautang, kundi ng mga grants. So kapag nagbigay ang China, hindi po pwedeng hindi magbigay ang Japan. So wala po tayong problema dyan sa warning ng ADB na yan dahil bukas naman ang mga mata natin. At ang ginawa naman natin mula nang nagkaroon tayong independenteng panglabas na relasyon, lahat po naging kaibigan natin dito sa Asia. Hindi lang po ang China, kasama na po ang Russia, kasama na ang India.
But didn't Secretary Espero said that we chose China's offers over Japan because we're trying to be warm to them?
Hindi po sa lahat ng proyekto yan. May mga ilang
Okay.
proyekto na pinili natin China, may ilang proyekto pinili natin Japan. Ang subway po, Japan. Hindi natin binigay sa China.
Okay, sir, ano lang, I'm gonna go through the checklist ng office. There was one map with regard to train, sir. Meron daw 21 schools na derail yung na hindi na nagawa because kailangan i-adjust yung mga prices because of train.
Hindi ko po alam yan. And I find that highly unlikely, no?
Why?
Dahil ang report po natin ngayon, napakataas po ngayon ng utilization rate ng lahat ng mga departamento. Kasama na po dyan ng DPWH. Hindi na po problema ngayon ang underspending. At yan naman po ay crucial para sa tagumpay ng train na magastos talaga yung budget na linaan para sa mga proyekto.
Build.
Train. Build! Sorry po.
Sir,
importante po yan sa build na magastos po yung mga linaan na mga budget para sa mga proyekto.
Sir, konti lang. Yung meron yatang bidding yung DOT na 1 million something for reversible jackets for birthday celebrants sa ahensya nila.
Hindi ko na po alam yung mga 1 million projects na yan sa totoo
So, wala
lang.
pang update.
Ipaumanhin po, pero yung mga 1 million mga appropriation, hindi na po nakakarating yan sa tanggapan ng Presidente.
Okay.
Rose Novenario, microphone please.
Sir, yung sa PhilHealth po, yung COA report din doon, at saka po yung sulat ng mga empleyado kay Presidente, ano po yung follow-up doon?
Well, alam ko po, imbestigahan din po yan ng Presidente. No? Dahil prioridad po talaga ng Presidente na magbigay ng universal healthcare. At talagang kung hindi po malilinis ang hanay ng PhilHealth, hindi po magkakatuparan itong universal healthcare. So ito lang po mapapangako ko po, talagang bibigyan po ng importansya yung paglilinis sa hanay ng PhilHealth.
Thank you.
Okay, no more questions? MPC? Okay, thank you, Presidential.
Last.
Daryl.
Sir, PhilHealth chief po asked na for her side to be heard by the President. Is the President willing to entertain her, sir?
Well, the matter po naman will be, I think, like all controversies, investigated, and everyone will be heard.
Okay, thanks, sir.
Okay?
MPC. Questions?
So kung wala na, see you tomorrow. Okay? See you
Okay,
tomorrow.
maraming salamat, Presidential Spokesperson Harry Roque. Thank you Malacanang Press Corps at sa ating mga bisita from London. Back
Thank
to our
you
main
from
studio
London.
sa Radyo Pilipinas and People's Television Network.
Talaga ba gusto niyo pa mag-Monday? Wala naman tayong balita pag Monday. Wala.